Never get so busy that you forget to make a life. Surprisingly enough, that is a quote from Dolly Parton. As someone who likes to work a lot and start pushing themselves to burnout, I had to remind myself that there is more to life than just work. Even though I do enjoy working a lot because it gives me a sense of purpose, I just have to tell myself that I need to relax a little bit. And there's probably people just like me as well who are probably listening to this. So just give yourself a reminder that the work is always going to be there. Personally, I just wrote some topics down that I wanted to talk about, and I kind of just split them up based on like physical, psychological, and social health. So at first, I just want to talk about the physical side of things when it comes to your work. And I'm someone who like sits in a chair all day for like my job or the job I'm going to have, and basically this YouTube channel. And something I've very noticed about myself is that you shouldn't lose sleep over work. I have lost sleep over working on my creatives and even this channel, even though none of my projects are important enough to lose sleep over. Sleep is the core of like everyday life. People think they can just go off 4 hours of sleep and drink like 200 milligrams of caffeine and call it a day. However, a lot of that does catch up to you, and most people don't even realize it. For example, people age quicker when they lose sleep, and it just catches up to them. And you can tell when someone is just not sleeping very well. When I lose sleep over a consecutive number of days, my body has a tendency to make up for it, and my body decides to sleep for 12 hours sometimes because it's just so tired. And then when I do sleep for those 12 hours, it just ruins my whole routine, and everything just gets thrown off, and you just feel groggy and everything along those lines. Of course, there are going to be some days you will lose sleep. Like if you're going on a flight somewhere, I have a tendency to not be able to sleep on airplanes, and I know for a fact that I'm going to lose sleep over this. But if you can keep a good sleep schedule, then a lot of other routines will fall into place. That's just what I've noticed for myself. If I have a consistent sleep schedule, then I will kind of build my other routines around my sleep schedule. And if my sleep schedule gets messed up, then my routine is all out of whack. And when my sleep is all out of whack, not to mention that my mental health and physical health will also go all over the place. Plus, being rejuvenated just makes you feel better and look better. Another thing with the physical aspect is that you just get body problems. As someone who works on a chair all day, it's weird. It's draining in a way, but not like in a good way. Because when you go to the gym, you feel like you like did something, but if you're just sitting all day, you're just like, wow, my body just aches in like every part of the like everywhere. And some physical problems I've noticed for myself is that I have noticed that my back, shoulders, and neck seem to like slowly move more out of place, I guess you could say. Like I'm starting to look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's not cute. My back starts to hurt from sitting all the time, which I can just, look into a standing desk and once I get the funds and stuff like that. And then you have to keep an eye on your like rolled shoulders too, because that also like makes it that just makes people look weird because I'll look at people who like sit at a desk all day and you can look at their posture and it just looks like unhealthy. And I understand that we work in this like 9 to 5, and it's really hard to actually like get those breaks in between. And something I noticed for myself as well is my neck is starting to like push forward, and I'm starting to look like a shrimp, and I don't really want to look like a shrimp. So like the way that we sit isn't normal. Like in these chairs, this is not something that we are like supposed to do for long periods of time because long-term slouching on a chair is just not good for our posture. And then once our posture is all messed up, it just creates a lot of tension in our body as well. So like messes up our neck, our back, our hips, our knees, our shoulders and stuff like that. It's just not healthy. So the way I counteract all of this is that I do go to the gym pretty regularly. I try to go 3 to 5 times a week if I can. I try to stretch at least once or 2 times a week if I can. I like taking multiple breaks when I'm working just because I don't always have the mental focus to keep going all the time. So going outside for me or like going for like a small walk for maybe like 10 minutes, maybe that break involves me like doing chores, like doing the dishes because that maybe takes like 5 minutes, maybe just, cleaning around, keeping the place tidy and stuff. I also do cardio as well. Every time I go to the gym, I try and do that every time I go to the gym. I actually enjoy cardio quite a bit. And it's just something I've noticed because I'm only 27 and I don't feel like my body should be in pain this much because I'm not that old. And honestly, I'd rather be sore from the gym and hurt from that than just sitting all day in a chair. Not to mention that carpal tunnel comes up with having your hand on the mouse all day and just getting that crunchy shoulder. If you get like that back pain, I'm right-handed, right? So my wrist on my right hand feels very like, if you ever had like any carpal tunnel, it just doesn't really feel good. It feels like you're like weakening and stuff like that. And if your hand is on a mouse all day, you'll get like this tension in your like right shoulder on the back. It's not really your shoulder, I guess you could say. It's like connected to your traps and your shoulder and your back. It's like a weird spot. And it just doesn't feel good. It's just like a lot of stress because my left side is completely fine because I'm not left-handed and I don't really do anything with my left hand besides type and stuff. Another thing that I do to counteract that is I would like to get a massage, maybe at least like once a month if I can. I know massages are expensive. If you can get them, they are definitely worth the money. At least I like a massage. They are expensive, and it is kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? A privilege. But my main point is just to listen to your body. And now I'm going to talk about like the psychological things when it comes to work. A lot of people now, especially my generation of Gen Z, are starting to realize that they're not going to sacrifice their mental health for work, which is good because I feel like a lot of people back then just didn't question anything and they were just like, "Oh, this is okay." Which in reality it doesn't really make any sense to be like this is okay because it just isn't. Like you don't have to be part of something that isn't going to keep you well in the long run. Like if you're at work and it's just making you angry, depressed, or unfulfilled, I don't know, try making time to like look forward to something when you get home from work. Like most of the time I would be looking forward to get to go to the gym or something or to like work on my creatives because that's like the thing that kept me like mentally sane for the most part. Or you can spend time looking for another job that could be less taxing for your mind and possibly even more pay. So this is your life, go live it the way you want to. Another thing with the psychological part is that you can get burnout pretty easily. My like philosophy is that you'll get more work done if you keep like a consistent, steady pace compared to going all in and like never taking breaks. Because there are a lot of people that have a tendency to do that. If you don't take breaks and you burn out, then you're not going to get any work done. I've personally never been a procrastinator because I hate procrastinating, feeling stress over things that I can have control over. So this was kind of an easier thing for me to do because I know people who wait till the last minute, and especially when I was in college, people were always waiting the last minute to study for their exams, and I'm not that person because I just can't do that. I can't focus. I don't want to focus for 8 hours a day and just have nothing else to do in that day besides study. So personally, I was someone who was like studying maybe like 20 minutes per day, and it made college really easy. I mean, it also depended on the class and stuff, but I'm just saying don't do things last minute all the time. You'll also create yourself more stress and give your body more tension and stuff like that. I've always been a steady worker just because it's been easier for me. Like if you can make yourself a schedule where you work just for a little bit and then take a break for a little bit, then you will be golden and then you will avoid burnout. Of course, every person is different, and some people can actually work like 80 hours a week, which I don't understand how they can. But find a good medium for yourself so you can avoid burnout. Once you burn out, though, you'll have no motivation or discipline to even keep going, and you'll just want to sit there and do nothing and probably just doom scroll and just watch Netflix all day or something along those lines. And when you start doing that, then you're going to like guilt yourself because you're like not getting any work done and stuff like that. Now I want to talk about like the social side of things. And a social side of things for work is that kind of just like you just need to go outside and like be a part of something. And I suggest just trying to do that because you can join all types of clubs, hobbies, or sports nowadays. I keep hearing online, whether people are LARPing or not, that people are lonely or they just don't have friends. Like, but the thing is, though, they don't do anything with their life. Like, their whole story is them just going to work, they come home, they play video games, and they just repeat it. And like they don't do like anything outside of work. And I understand coming like from an introvert that you just want to be home and just chill. But however, you just kind of need to be part of something. Like for example, I'm part of the music community here, and I'm also part of like a bunch of other creative communities. Like I vend a lot, and I kind of just know a good amount of people here actually, which is interesting because I am naturally introverted. Like if there are things that you enjoy and you can find a community to do it with, then try and be part of it. You don't have to do it like all the time, but try and get to know your community as much as you can. Like as someone who is naturally introverted and can spend a long time alone, that doesn't mean I don't want a community for myself or like anything that I do. And I'm talking about communities in person, not Discord or like responding to DMs on social media, because that just isn't the same. You don't have to go out of your way to make them all of your friends, but just enough for you to go outside and meet new people. You never know who you're going to come across and what others will teach you. Another thing is that spend some time with your friends and family if you can. I know this doesn't apply to everyone because there are people out there who just don't want anything to do with their family. However, if that is not you, then I suggest like hanging out with them whenever you can, and how it applies to your social battery and everything along those lines. For me, I can go weeks without seeing people, but that started like a whole kind of issue for me and like some other friends, just because I was never seeing them, and then they thought I didn't like them or stuff like that. And I started seeing people more often, even though I didn't always have the social battery for it. I kind of just sucked it up, went anyways, and started to see people, hang out with people, catch up with people. You don't even have to do like a bunch of activities that cost a bunch of money, because I know everything is expensive as well. Just do things that where you can just hang out with your friends, whether if it's just like going to a park and just chilling, like looking at the clouds, or going for a hike, or just going for a walk. You can do like you can catch up getting food, a drink, or whatever it is you guys want to do. But I'm just suggesting see your friends and family as much as you can, because work isn't everything in this life. I understand that work is purpose for myself and like others as well, but there is more things to life than just that. Over time, you learn that all of these are just connected and they all influence each other anyways. So not everything about your life has to be about work, and don't forget to make the life that you want to live. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you made it this far, if you want to check out my other videos and want more of me, check out my description if you want. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.